All right, you freedom-loving boys and girls, Mark, Centerline Systems. Hey, I'm not sure why I didn't do this video already. I'm just falling behind. I mean, for as crappy as the economy is and whatever, it seems like I'm working even harder, or I'm getting old and I'm losing my brain. But hey, we're going to do the knot of the month. It's the middle of May, so I'm going to keep this going. And I apologize. I'm not that type of channel. I'd actually like to hear people's feedbacks in the comments. If you even like the knots, I send out, with every product that goes out in your grab bag, I put the knot of the month in there. But, if that's something people aren't interested in, I mean, so be it, c'est la vie. It's not your bag. It's not your thing. Right. So, but anyway, I'm going to show you the knot of the month for the rest of this month. And we're going to do this through June too. So, and then we'll just see where we are. Maybe we'll keep doing it. Maybe we won't. But this is called the Fisherman's Bend. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other names for it. This, to me, is a really good knot to learn because it's super simple. Two, it's super easy to untie, even if it's been under pressure. And I know that might not seem like a lot, but knots that are super hard to untie eventually get frustrated people just cutting their ropes or cutting their material. And that's no bueno, right? You don't want to do that. But you also don't want it just to come off, to come untied when you need it to hold load, But here, let me do my new little thing I'm learning. Let me okay, so now I can see better, and I am going to use Zoomy McZoomerson here during this video, so just stay tuned. A little too much for what we're doing, but that's a good place to start. So why is this knot good? So this knot has a lot of versatility insofar as you could make a lanyard out of it. You could attach a broken bootlace or shoelace back together. You can make an improvised belt out of this. It's a good joining knot for one long piece of rope or two pieces of rope coming together. So then you can then in turn use them for something else. And what's also nice is it's super adjustable. Well, I got the, here, let me just do it this way. So I can adjust it. Gosh dang it. There we go. You can kind of adjust it in either direction. You see what I'm kind of doing there. There's a lot more, made it short. I can grab on that and see how I just brought all those together. And as we do this, this will slide together. And that's actually kind of one of the things that you'll do to make it as there. That's probably a little bit better somewhere right in there. But it's an easy knot to tie. Let me grab this other rope. I'll show you how to tie it. It's super simple. It has a lot of practicality, and it's easy to untie, and it's not a hard one to learn. And it does have, and see, as you can see, it has a lot of ease of use to it. Once you kind of learn it and start messing with it, it really is simple. So here I got just a big hank rope right here. So I got my two ends. I'm just going to let the rest dangle for now. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. Do I need to zoom in? I'm going to zoom in just a tad more. That should be good enough. So all we're going to do, so whether this was one continuous piece of rope or two different strands coming together, it doesn't matter. But now what I'm going to make here is going to show you how you could do this with 550 cord, make it into a necklace, carry your KDC up there, your emergency fire kit and all that. So basically you're just laying the two ends over the top of each other. That's it. You just want the two ends running in opposite directions. And it doesn't matter which side you start on. I'm just going to go here. You're just going to come over, and then you're just going to make a bite. You're going to go right back over the top. I'm going to give myself a little bit more slack. So here's, again, there's the other end. There it is. I'm just going to take this end now, and I'm just going to come over the top once, come over the top twice, and then you've made a hole here, like my finger is now fitting through that. Then run that end back through the hole and pull it tight. And what you'll end up getting, let me just dress this up a second, is on the front side. See how that's nice and clean right there? And then here's what the back side looks like. See how it overlaps? There's nice and clean right there. See how it's Xing over itself? It's overlapping. That's it. And then on the opposite side, and if I need a little bit more, I can just pull it through right now. And then I do the same thing. I come over once, twice, make a loop. See how my free end is running in towards the middle though. That's how you're doing your loops. And then you just come through, put it right back through that loop, right there. See it? Pull it through the loop, pull it tight, dress it up. And I got to get back into having somebody help me with the camera. And then here we go. 2 clean ends. And this one's going to show up even more, I think. And there's that X end right there. See it? You know, clean ends. And then that little X SE thing. And so what's nice about that, so again, if this, I can just do this. And now, you know, again, a little bit too much rope for this demonstration. But there, I just made a necklace out of this, right? So I could use this, again, put your key DC, a knife, whatever you want. There you go. Now, let me just throw one last thing in there, though, about this. So if you had it, and so you can see there's now 3 strands. There's the 2 strands where my knots come together, and then there's the running strand. If this was over my neck and this part got caught, see how that's tightening up? And that now is tightening up around my neck right here, right? That's tight. Now, it isn't choking me off, but it just pulled the knot tight towards me. So you can wear it that way because it's nice and easy, because look what all I have to do is just sit and grab an edge and I can just get it right back out. You might want to run that the opposite way and have the knots down below you. So if that pulls and gets constricted, nothing's changing up here. You're still got a rope around your neck. Don't get me wrong. But then all of that is happening down on the far end. So just a little something to throw out there. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. Geez, I think I was doing a hula hoop or something. Doesn't make too much of a difference, but it's just a little bit of a safety function you might want to consider. Again, look how simple this knot is. I can adjust it. I can pull it, and then, you know, you just got to grab your ends there. You know, again, I've got a ton of material here that I'm working with, and I probably should have done it. Now I'll just do it a little differently. And then there's the 2 knots joined to each other. And you can see, you know, there's the twisty and then a straight, and then on the opposite side, twisty and a straight, right? There you go. Personally, what needs to go in here in the end, boys and girls? A half hitch, right, for safety. I should have given myself a little bit more, and then I could have half hitched this up, and then that knot isn't going anywhere. All right, there it is. Fisherman's bend. That's the knot I've been throwing in with the orders that have been going out, and I'll keep doing that one probably through June. I might mix it up even earlier because I do want to do a trucker's hitch. That's another great knot. And there's a couple of variations. Oh, gosh, too much mark. I'm trying to look up there, and I forget about here, and too much mark. I know not what I do with this computer and all these. Moving back down here to this end of the building. Let me get out of that view. All right, there it is. A little bit longer than I was hoping, but still kind of relatively short. If you got questions, comments, you know, give me a call. I can talk you through it. It's a pretty simple knot. There are a bunch of, like, you know, videos out there. And again, I am not, no pun intended. I'm seriously not trying to be a smartass, but I'm not trying to be a knot channel. That is not my intention, to teach knots and Swiss seats and rappelling and all that kind of crap. I could, but I think these are some of the key things that are nice little nuggets. Practice them, put them in your hip pocket, because they come in more handy than you think, especially like, oh, my shoelace just broke. Zip, 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 zip. And you'll have to figure it out and get it perfect, you know, because you might only have so much shoelace, but that can join that together. And now you've got a shoelace, a bootlace, you know, a longer section of rope if you need it for that matter, right? For something else you're trying to do. Or if you want to make a lanyard, a necklace, so you can keep your mission critical gear up here around your neck. You know, even if you're traveling, throw that stuff around here, you know, do that, because it makes the two separate things. Make it look like that's a chain and that's your religious album, but that, you know, emblem, your religious or symbol or whatever, you know, across a picture of your mom, whatever, right? But then the actual item could be down farther in your chest and hidden, concealed under your clothing a little bit more. So it's, again, a lot of purpose. Well, and I just thought of another one. What if you lose your belt or don't have a belt and you suddenly need a belt? You could make an improvised belt. This whole thing right here, I could turn that into an improvised belt and then, you know, draw it to whatever length and then, you know, figure out what you want. And then either have it tight like that and there's your belt. You know, I would probably want it so it's tightened up in here. And then again, you know, put some half hitches in there. There's a bunch of different ways, hell, you could even bring it over and do a half hitch behind it, which is not how it's meant, but do it that way. And then that way it's not going to pull any tighter. So just get out there and mess with it, play around with it. It's a good knot. You could use it. Well, there, I just even did that. If I needed to do this with some other type of item, I could also just make an improvised cravat, or, I wouldn't use it as a tourniquet, but if I needed it to, like, be able to go around like a splint, or, get my arm up here, or wrap it around a tree and have it adjustable so I can make adjustments for my ridge line or my meat bag, whatever you're doing, right? So it's a pretty good knot. If you got questions, you know the deal. Reach out anytime. I'll do the best I can to help you out. Hope everybody has a great day. Hope you have a great upcoming weekend. I apologize for being a little bit slow on these videos. I'll do at least one more knot, and then we'll just see how it goes if we're going to continue with that. So until then, keep moving. Geez, gosh. Is it the end of the day yet? I hope so. Keep thinking. Keep moving. Never quit. All right, boys and girls, we'll see you again soon. Everybody be good. Woo!